Christmas Eve, 11:47 p.m. Do you think angels forget about people like us? Have you ever heard a child ask a question that broke your heart clean in two? Aisha Williams looks down at the boy, shivering in her arms, his lips pale as snow, his eyes searching for an answer she doesn't have. Behind them, red and blue lights pulse against brick walls. Police sirens fade into the soul night. She pulls him closer, wrapping her coat around both of them. She doesn't know his name yet, doesn't know his father runs the most dangerous criminal organization in the city, doesn't know that in 72 hours, this moment will crack open everything she thought she understood about power, faith, and love. What she knows is this: 48 hours ago, she was wiping down tables at Heaven's Gate Diner, counting coins for the heating bill, praying her work visa wouldn't expire. Now she's holding a lost child who smells like expensive cologne and terror, wondering if kindness will be enough to protect him from whoever he's running from. It won't be, but she doesn't know that yet. She found him alone in the snow an hour ago, crying beside an alley dumpster, clutching a silver necklace that caught the streetlight like a fallen star. When she asked if he wanted to go home, he whispered 5 words that changed everything. "I don't have one anymore." That's when her heart made the decision her head would spend the next 3 days questioning. Some people call it foolish, she calls it faith. This boy, with his designer sneakers caked in mud, and his small hand gripping hers like she's the last solid thing in the world, he's just like her, alone, afraid, waiting for a miracle that probably isn't coming. The snow falls harder. She makes a choice. "Let's get you warm," she says. And with those 4 words, she walks straight into the path of a man who stopped believing in angels a long time ago. 3 days earlier, winter in Seoul. Seoul winters don't care if you're poor. The cold cuts through everything. Aisha knows this well. 26 in Seoul for 2 years, working at Heaven's Gate Diner. She's the only black server, the one who stays late, the one Mrs. Choi trusts. "You're too soft," Mrs. Choi says, watching Aisha give free soup to an elderly man. "Soft people get used. Maybe, but I'd rather be soft than hard." The diner empties. Christmas lights blink in the window. Outside, couples laugh together. Inside, Aisha eats leftover rice alone. Her mother's voice echoes, "Baby, God puts you where you're needed, even when it don't make sense." She still doesn't know why she's here. Across the city, Han Jae-hyun stands in his penthouse, watching snowfall. 40 years old. Built a criminal empire with fear. Lost his wife to violence 5 years ago. Lost his 6-year-old son 30 days ago. "Sir, the Christmas gala," his assistant begins. "Cancel it." His voice could cut glass. Christmas is for people who believe in fairy tales. The room falls silent. Somewhere in this city, his son is cold, scared, and he can't do anything about it. His phone buzzes. Young Do-sik, his right-hand man. "Sir, we have a lead. The boy was spotted in Itaewon." "Find him, whatever it takes." But Do-sik orchestrated the kidnapping himself. A move to prove Jae-hyun's weakness and take over. And Yun-woo, he wasn't taken. He ran away from the cold mansion, the shouting, the absent father. Ran into the Seoul night, where a stranger would find him. Sometimes the coldest places aren't outside. They're in here, in the spaces we've stopped letting anyone touch. If this story is reaching something in you, let me know by liking this video and subscribe because we're just getting started. Christmas Eve morning. Aisha wakes to sunlight. The boy is curled on her couch under her spare blanket, the silver necklace at his chest. She found him 16 hours ago behind Heaven's Gate. No coat, shoes too big. Just that necklace and terror in his eyes. "Are you an angel?" he'd asked. "No, baby, I'm just Aisha." Now she studies him. Expensive haircut, pale skin, faint marks on his wrists from restraints. Whoever he's running from isn't playing games. She makes porridge. When he wakes, he watches her carefully. "What's your name?" "Yunwoo." "Where's your family?" His hands shake. "I don't want to go back. Everyone's angry there. I'm always alone. Nobody tucks me in since my mother died." Tears fill his eyes. "Uncle Dosik said my father wanted me gone, that I was in the way. He locked me in a dark room. I ran away. Lord have mercy. This child was kidnapped by someone he trusted." "You're safe here," she promises. Across the city, Jae-hyun paces his office like a caged wolf. 30 days and you have nothing? He slams the desk. Young Do-sik steps forward. A foreign woman was seen with a child matching Yunwoo's description at Heaven's Gate Diner. Who is she? Nobody, a server. But she could be using him as leverage. Something doesn't sit right, but Yunwoo is alive. Find her, bring my son. Don't hurt her unless she resists. That afternoon, Jae-hyun arrives at the diner. Through the window, he sees her, a young black woman, laughing with Mrs. Choi. Then he sees his son coloring in a booth. He looks happy. Jae-hyun pushes inside. The bell jingles. Aisha freezes. She knows danger in a suit when she sees it. "We're closing," she says carefully. "I'm not here to eat." He walks toward Yunwoo. Aisha moves between them. "That's my son." Yunwoo looks up. His face drains of color. He moves closer to Aisha, hiding. "I found him in an alley," Aisha says. "He was terrified." "I could buy this entire neighborhood. I could make you disappear." His eyes are ice. "And you're standing between me and my son. The only right I have is the one he gave me when he asked for help. Yunwoo, come here, now." "I don't want to. You're never home, and Uncle Do-sik is mean. He took me, father. He said you told him I was trouble." The world tilts. Do-sik, his most trusted man, orchestrated everything. Jae-hyun kneels slowly. "I never told him that. I've been searching every day." "You have?" "Yes, I'm sorry I made you scared, that I wasn't there." Yunwoo takes a small step forward. "You were always angry." "I know, but maybe we can fix this, together." "Can Miss Aisha help?" Jae-hyun looks at her. "If she's willing." Aisha crosses her arms. "And that boy deserves better than fear." "What would you have me do? Walk away from everything?" "Figure out how to actually live instead of just survive." He stares at this woman challenging him. "I'll be back tomorrow with a real plan." He pauses at the door. "Thank you for protecting him." Outside, he calls Do-sik. "My office, now." He knows the truth, and there will be consequences. Christmas Eve, late afternoon. Do-sik arrives at the office with his usual smooth confidence, designer suit perfectly pressed. But when he sees Jae-hyun's face, something in his expression flickers. Concern, or maybe calculation. "Sir, you wanted to see me urgently?" "Close the door." Do-sik does. The soft click echoes ominously. Jae-hyun stands by the window, back turned, hands clasped behind him. "I found my son." "That's wonderful news, sir. Where was he? Is he hurt?" "He told me something very interesting." Jae-hyun's voice is conversational, deadly. "He said you were the one who took him, that you told him I wanted him gone because he was too much trouble, that you locked him in a cold room until he escaped. Heavy silence fills the space between them. Sir, the boy is confused, traumatized from his ordeal. Children misremember things when they're scared. Don't. Jae-hyun turns slowly. His eyes are completely empty of emotion. Don't insult me by lying to my face. I've known you 15 years, Do-sik. I know every single one of your tells when you're scheming. Do-sik's mask cracks, then slides off entirely. His face hardens into something cold and calculating. You've become weak, he says bluntly. Ever since your wife died, you've been weak, distracted, emotional, sentimental. This organization needs real strength, not a leader who's falling apart. So you terrorized my 6-year-old son to prove a point about leadership? I gave the organization a test case, proof that you've lost your edge completely, that you're no longer fit to lead us forward. Do-sik steps closer, emboldened. And I was absolutely right. Look at you now, kneeling in some rundown diner, begging a foreign woman for permission to see your own child. You're pathetic. Jae-hyun moves so fast, Do-sik doesn't see it coming. One moment he's standing confidently. The next, Jae-hyun's hand is around his throat, slamming him against the wall, hard enough to crack the plaster. You terrorized my 6-year-old son, your own godson, the child you held at his baptism. To make a point about power? Jae-hyun's whisper is more terrifying than any shout. You made him think his own father abandoned him on purpose. Do-sik chokes, claws desperately at Jae-hyun's iron grip. The boy was never in real danger. Just leverage. Just business. Just leverage. Jae-hyun releases him suddenly, lets him drop and gasp. My son, just business. Do-sik coughs violently, struggling for air. This is organized crime, Jae-hyun, not a family reunion. You forgot that fundamental truth. I was simply reminding you what world we actually live in. You're absolutely right. I did forget. Jae-hyun pulls out his phone calmly, dials, but you just reminded me exactly what this world is, and exactly why I need to get my son as far away from it as calling the police, turning you in for kidnapping, conspiracy, and everything else I can think of. Do-sik's eyes widen in genuine shock. You can't. I know everything. Every account, every deal, every body buried. If I go down, I'm taking you with me. I know. Jae-hyun's smile is sad and strangely peaceful. I'm counting on it, actually. You're insane. You're throwing away everything we built. No, I'm destroying everything that's been destroying me. The call connects. Yes, I'd like to report multiple serious crimes. Do-sik lunges desperately. Jae-hyun sidesteps easily, lets him crash into the desk. Security bursts through the door. Sir, is everything... Hold him securely. The police are on their way. Do-sik snarls from the floor like a trapped animal. You're destroying everything. 20 years of work. No, I'm destroying what destroyed my family. There's a difference. Truth. Clean and sharp as broken glass. The police arrive within 15 minutes. Jae-hyun's influence still carries weight in some quarters. He provides detailed evidence, names, locations, everything needed to build an airtight case against Do-sik. Mr. Han, the lead detective says carefully, clearly uncomfortable. You realize this testimony implicates you as well in various criminal activities. I do understand that. You're willing to face charges yourself? If it means my son is safe and this man is locked away where he can't hurt anyone? Absolutely, yes. The detective studies him with new eyes. That's unexpectedly principled. Don't give me too much credit, detective. Jae-hyun watches Do-sik being led away in handcuffs, still cursing. I'm just trying very hard to become the man my son thinks I can be. After they leave, Jae-hyun calls his lawyer, begins the complex process of dismantling everything he spent 20 years building. Then he gets in his car and drives straight back to Heaven's Gate Diner. But when he arrives, his heart stops cold. The diner is completely dark, empty, closed. A handwritten note taped to the door. Closed for Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas. Mrs. Choi. Panic claws at his chest with razor talons. Where are they? Did Do-sik's people find them first? Hurt them before the arrests? He's pulling out his phone to mobilize every resource he has when he remembers Aisha's apartment. The address is in the background file Do-sik had prepared. Of course, Do-sik knew where she lived. He probably had people watching her from the beginning. Jae-hyun drives faster than he should through Seoul's Christmas traffic, running 2 red lights. When he reaches her building, he takes the stairs 2 at a time, chest heaving, pounds on her door. Aisha, Yoon-woo, open up. The door swings open. She stands there in sweatpants and an old sweater, flour dusting one cheek, eyes wide with surprise. Mr. Han, what's wrong? You look terrified. Are you okay? Is he safe? He's breathing hard, looking past her frantically. We're completely fine. We're baking Christmas cookies. What happened? Relief hits him so hard his knees nearly buckle. I thought, when the diner was closed, I thought, you thought something bad happened to us. Her expression softens with understanding. Come in, you look like you need to sit down. He steps inside on unsteady legs. Yoon-woo is at the tiny kitchen counter, wearing an oversized apron, absolutely covered in flour from head to toe. Father, we're making Christmas cookies. Father, look, we're making Christmas cookies shaped like stars. The scene is so completely normal, so warm and domestic, and utterly divorced from the violent world Jae-hyun just left, that he almost can't process it. That's wonderful, son, he manages through a tight throat. Aisha studies his face with sharp eyes. What happened today? Do-sik has been arrested. I turned him in to the police myself. Good, he deserves it. I also started the legal process to dismantle my entire organization. Full cooperation with prosecutors, which means I'll definitely face criminal charges too. Serious prison time. Heavy silence falls. Yoon-woo looks up, confused and frightened. Prison? Like on television? Yes. For how long? I don't know yet, son. Maybe a long time. The boy's face crumples. But I just got you back. That's not fair. Jae-hyun kneels quickly, pulls his son close. I know, and I'm so sorry, but this is the only way to make absolutely sure you're really safe. That no one like Do-sik can ever hurt you again. That you can grow up without looking over your shoulder. I don't care about being safe. Yoon-woo's voice breaks completely. I just want you. I want my father. 4 words. The simplest and most devastating. Jae-hyun holds his son while he cries, rocking him gently. Over the boy's shaking shoulders, he meets Aisha's eyes. I don't know what I'm doing, he admits quietly. I'm just trying to do the right thing for once in my life. You are doing the right thing, she says with conviction. How can you possibly know that? Because you're choosing him over everything else, over power, money, pride, safety. That's what real love is. It's choosing, even when it costs you absolutely everything. She's right, and it's terrifying how right she is. After Yunwoo calms down somewhat, Aisha gently suggests they finish the cookies together. It's clear she's creating intentional space for them to just be together. A family, even if only for a few precious hours. Jae-hyun finds himself at her cramped counter, carefully measuring flour with his son, following cheerful instructions from a woman he met less than 3 days ago. And somehow, impossibly, it feels more like home than his penthouse ever did. "You're actually good at this," Aisha observes with surprise. "At baking cookies? At being present, really here. It suits you much better than that cold mask you wore in the diner." "I've only been doing this for an hour." "Then keep doing it every chance you get. You'll only get better." They work in comfortable silence. Later, over tea, Aisha tells him about Seoul. "After my mother died, I threw a dart at a map. It landed here." She smiles sadly. "Turns out grief follows you. But you stayed. Because sometimes the place you run to becomes where you're meant to be." His phone buzzes. Messages from his lawyer. "I have to go. Legal matters." He looks at Yunwoo, sleeping. "Can he stay?" "Of course." At the door, he pauses. "Thank you." "Don't thank me yet. The hard part's starting." He leaves into the night. For the first time in 5 years, he has something worth fighting for beyond power. Just a little boy and the woman protecting him. Christmas Day, early morning. Jae-hyun meets Prosecutor Kim in a secure government building. The man is young, ambitious, clearly skeptical of this whole situation. "Mr. Han, you want to turn state's evidence against your own criminal organization." "That's correct. Why would you do that?" "Because I want out completely, and I want ironclad protection for my son." "Protection isn't free in this world. What exactly can you offer in exchange?" Jae-hyun slides a USB drive across the table with steady hands. "Everything. 20 years of detailed financial records, bank accounts in 7 countries, names of every politician, judge, and police officer on my payroll. Evidence of crimes you didn't even know happened." Prosecutor Kim's eyes widen as he plugs it in and starts scrolling. His face goes progressively paler. "This is extraordinary. This could bring down half the corruption in Seoul. Everything you need to dismantle not just my organization, but 3 others connected to it, maybe more if you dig deep enough." Jae-hyun leans back. "In exchange, I want full immunity for Aisha Williams and protective custody for my son Yunwoo. I'll plead guilty to whatever charges you think are appropriate." But they walk away completely clean and safe. "You're willing to go to prison yourself?" "Yes." "For potentially how long?" "However long justice requires. I'm not negotiating my own sentence." The prosecutor studies him intently. What changed? Men like you don't just wake up one morning and suddenly develop a conscience. "You're absolutely right. They don't." Jae-hyun's voice is steady and clear. "But sometimes they meet someone who reminds them they used to be human underneath all the violence. And sometimes they look at their son and realize that all the power in the world means nothing if that child grows up terrified of them." Prosecutor Kim continues scrolling through files, occasionally stopping to stare in disbelief. "This is genuinely extraordinary evidence, but will need significant time to verify everything. Build proper cases. This could take months of work." "Then work as fast as humanly possible. Because Dusik's not the only one who knows I'm cooperating now. The moment word spreads through the organization, there will be immediate and violent retaliation. Against you personally, against anyone I'm known to care about, which makes them targets. Which is exactly why he has to move them today, right now. The meeting ends with handshakes and formal promises, legal protections filed, official wheels set in motion. But as Jae-hyun leaves the building, he feels it clearly. The prickling sensation of being watched by hostile eyes. He's right. In a nondescript car 3 blocks away, 2 of Dosik's most loyal people sit with phones and cameras, documenting every movement. He's definitely turning informant, one mutters. The boss called it perfectly. Send word immediately. Initiate the contingency plan. What about the kid and that foreign woman? A long, calculated pause. The boss's orders were clear. Handle it permanently, whatever that takes. The car pulls away into traffic. Jae-hyun doesn't see them directly, but years in this brutal world have taught him to trust his instincts. And right now, every instinct is screaming danger. He calls Aisha immediately. 3 rings, 4, 5. Hello? Her voice is sleepy and confused. Pack everything essential right now. You and Yoon-woo, you have exactly 10 minutes. What? Why? What's happening? Because I just painted a massive target on everyone I care about, and you're at the very top of that list. I'm sending a secure car. It'll be there in 10 minutes. Please don't argue with me about this. Jae-hyun, please. His voice actually breaks. Please just trust me on this. I can't lose you both. Not now. Silence stretches for 3 heartbeats. Then, okay, 10 minutes. She hangs up and moves into immediate action. Wakes Yoon-woo gently but urgently. Baby, we need to go on an adventure right now. Where are we going? He rubs sleepy eyes. Somewhere safe, with your father. But we need to hurry. Is someone bad coming? She pauses. Lying to children never works. They can always feel the truth underneath. Maybe, but we're not going to let them find us, okay? They pack in 7 minutes flat. By the time the car arrives, a plain sedan. Nothing flashy or recognizable. They're waiting by the door with 1 bag each. The driver is young, nervous, says nothing, just drives fast and efficiently. Through Seoul's slowly waking streets, past Christmas decorations and early churchgoers, past the comfortable normalcy Aisha has been desperately chasing for 2 years. Where exactly are we going? She asks. The Church of the Advent, Mr. Cho. Han said you'd know it and feel safe there. Sister Mary's church? Of course, sanctuary, literally and spiritually. They arrive as dawn breaks cold and clear. The old stone church sits on its hill, stained glass catching early light, unmoved by the chaos and violence below. Sister Mary is waiting at the heavy wooden door, like she knew they were coming. Child, she says to Aisha, opening her arms. Heard you were coming early this morning. How did you possibly know? Mr. Han called me at 5 a.m. Explain the situation. She ushers them inside quickly, scanning the street. You'll be safe here. This is God's house, God's protection. Sister, these are genuinely dangerous people we're talking about. Then they'll learn what it means to violate sacred ground. Sister Mary's smile is sweet as honey and hard as steel. I've been doing this kind of work for 40 years, child. I've stared down gang leaders, corrupt police, and one very angry cartel boss who thought he could intimidate a nun. Your criminal friends don't scare me one bit. Despite everything, Aisha laughs with genuine relief. They're taken to a small room in the church's back section. Simple, clean, safe, with a lock on the door. Yunwoo immediately crawls onto the bed, exhausted from fear and confusion. "Sleep, baby," Aisha says gently, stroking his hair. "I'll be right here the whole time. Promise you won't leave?" "I promise." He's asleep in minutes, the resilience of childhood taking over. Sister Mary brings hot tea and sits across from Aisha with the kind of calm presence that invites complete truth. "He's coming for you," she says. Not a question, a simple statement of fact. "Who?" "The Father, not to take his son away, to protect you both properly." Aisha's cheeks warm with unexpected heat. "It's not like that between us?" "Isn't it?" Sister Mary's eyes twinkle with knowing. "I've seen the way you talk about him, the way your whole face changes when you say his name. I barely know him. It's been 3 days. You know him where it counts most, in his choices, in his sacrifices, in his desperate attempts to become better." The old nun sips her tea slowly. "The real meaning of Christmas isn't in the gifts we wrap, child. It's in the transformation we witness, the impossible becoming possible, light entering even the deepest darkness. He's done terrible things, hurt people, ruined lives. Haven't we all in our own ways? Different scales, perhaps, but we've all caused harm, disappointed God, fallen short of who we could be." She sets down her cup with a soft click. "The question isn't what he's done in the past, it's what he's choosing to do right now in this present moment. And from where I'm sitting, he's trying to save his soul by saving his son. That's worth something. And if he can't, if it's already too late for redemption—" "It's never too late, not while there's breath in the body and love in the heart." Sister Mary stands slowly. "Get some rest. You look absolutely exhausted." "I'm scared, sister." "Good. Fear means you care deeply. It's complete indifference that's truly dangerous." She leaves quietly. Aisha sits in the peaceful silence, watching Yunwoo sleep. This beautiful child who stumbled into her life 3 days ago and changed absolutely everything. 3 days. That's all it's been. How is that even possible? But time works differently in crisis. Hours become lifetimes. Moments become eternities of meaning. She's dozing in the chair when sudden shouting wakes her with a jolt. She's at the window instantly, heart pounding. Down below in the courtyard, 3 men in dark suits are arguing loudly with Sister Mary. "We know they're here. Hand them over right now." "This is a house of God. You have absolutely no authority here." "Lady, we don't have time for religious games. Our organization wants the kid and the foreign woman. You can cooperate peacefully, or what, exactly?" Sister Mary doesn't move or flinch. "You'll harm a nun? On Christmas Day? In a church? Go ahead and try." The men hesitate, clearly uncomfortable. That's when Jae-hyun's car screeches into the courtyard, tires smoking. He's out before it fully stops, moving between Sister Mary and the men like a human shield. "Stand down immediately," he orders with absolute authority. "Mr. Han, sir, we have direct orders from—" "I don't care who gave you orders. I'm giving you new ones. Leave, now." "Sir, with all respect, you're not in charge anymore. Do-6 allies are taking over the organization. You turned traitor against your own people. The leadership has voted." Jae-hyun's smile is cold as winter death. The organization can vote all they want. Those 2 people in that church? They're under my personal protection, and I will burn this entire city to the ground before I let you touch them. You're just one man now. Then try me. See what happens. Tense standoff. For 10 eternal seconds, no one moves or breathes. Then sirens in the distance, getting rapidly closer. The men look at each other nervously. This isn't over. Yes, Jae-hyun says with quiet finality. It absolutely is. They leave reluctantly, throwing threats over their shoulders. Jae-hyun turns to Sister Mary, breathing hard. I'm so sorry I brought violence to your door. Child, I've had much worse at my door over the years. Drug dealers, human traffickers. One memorable time, a man with a machete who thought he could scare me. She pats his arm fondly. You're positively civilized by comparison. Despite everything, he almost smiles. Are they inside? Second floor, last room on the left. He takes the stairs 2 at a time. When he opens the door carefully, Aisha is standing with Yoonwoo protected behind her, holding a heavy lamp like a weapon. It's me, he says quickly, hands up. It's just me, you're safe. She lowers the lamp with shaking hands. What happened down there? They found you somehow. It's not safe here anymore, even with Sister Mary's protection. But Sister Mary said, Sister Mary is incredibly brave, but she can't stop bullets or firebombs. He moves to Yoonwoo, crouches to eye level. We need to go somewhere else, somewhere nobody in my organization knows about. Where? Aisha asks, voice tight with fear. He meets her eyes directly. Somewhere I haven't been in 5 years, the place my wife loved most in the world. Her family's cabin, 3 hours outside Seoul, remote, forgotten by everyone except ghosts. Can we really trust it to be safe? I honestly don't know, but it's the only place I have left. They gather their minimal belongings quickly. Sister Mary meets them at the side door with a canvas bag. Food, water, blankets, and this. She presses a small wooden cross into Aisha's palm, closing her fingers around it. For protection, real protection. I don't know if God is really listening to people like us, sister. He always listens, child. We're just not always patient enough to wait for the answer. She looks at Jae-hyun with piercing eyes. Keep them safe, son. With my life, I swear it. I believe you mean that. They leave through the back entrance into an unmarked car Jae-hyun had waiting. As they drive out of Seoul, the city fading behind them into morning mist, Yoonwoo falls asleep again between them. The exhaustion of constant fear finally catching up. Tell me about your wife, Aisha says quietly into the silence. Jae-hyun's hands tighten on the steering wheel. Why do you want to know? Because we're driving to her family's sacred place. Because you loved her deeply, and because Yoonwoo needs to know his mother existed and mattered. He's quiet for a long, painful moment. Memories rising. Her name was Ji-woo. She taught elementary school. Kind, patient, warm. The complete opposite of me in every possible way. His voice softens with remembering. She used to say I was like winter, cold and hard, but somehow necessary, and she was spring, warm, healing, making things grow. How did you two meet? She rear-ended my car in a parking lot, completely her fault. She was crying, apologizing profusely, offering to pay for everything, even though I could see she didn't have much money. He almost smiles. I told her to forget about it, but she absolutely insisted on making it right. Took me to dinner to apologize properly. And you fell in love. I fell in love with someone who saw me as a complete human being. Not just a boss, who challenged me, made me laugh, made me want to be better. His voice cracks slightly. Who died because loving her made me vulnerable, made me a target. Someone killed her because she represented my one weakness. That's not your fault, isn't it? I knew exactly what I was, knew the risks that came with my life. I should have let her go, should have protected her by staying completely away from her. Or maybe she knew the risks perfectly well and loved you anyway. Maybe that was her choice to make, not yours to take away from her. Respect, reciprocity, the foundational elements of real love. I've spent 5 years thinking I killed her by being selfish enough to love her. And maybe you're wrong. Maybe you honored her by loving her fully, by giving her a life worth living, even if it was shorter than it should have been. Maybe she'd rather have had 5 real years with you than 50 safe years without you. The word settled between them like benediction. You're remarkably good at this, he says quietly. At what? At seeing people clearly, without harsh judgment, with just honest truth. It's easier when you've been broken yourself into pieces. You recognize the fragments in other people. They drive in comfortable silence. The city gives way to countryside. Snow-covered fields stretch endlessly. Distant mountains rise like ancient guardians. After 2 hours, they turn onto a narrow private road. Trees close in on both sides. The world narrows to white and gray, and the soft sound of tires on packed snow. The cabin appears like something from a faded photograph. Small, wood and stone, covered in untouched snow, frozen in time and memory. Jae-hyun parks and just stares, unable to move. I haven't been here since her funeral, he admits, voice barely above a whisper. We don't have to stay if it's too painful. No, we do have to stay. He looks at Yoon-woo, still sleeping peacefully. This was her sacred place, her family's for 4 generations. If anywhere in this world is truly safe, it's here. She'd want us here. They wake the boy gently, carry supplies inside together. The cabin is cold as a tomb, dusty, frozen in the exact moment Jae-hyun walked away 5 years ago. But as he starts a fire in the stone fireplace and Aisha finds blankets in the cedar chest, it slowly begins to feel less like a grave and more like a haven. It's beautiful here, Yoon-woo says, looking around with wide eyes. Did Mother love it? She did, very much. She used to paint the mountains from that window, said this was where she felt closest to God and peace. Do you think she can see us right now? Jae-hyun's throat closes completely. I don't know, son. Maybe. I think she can. Yoon-woo's voice carries absolute certainty. I think she sent Miss Aisha to help us, like an answer to her prayers. Both adults go completely still. Why do you think that, baby? Aisha asks gently. Because Mother used to pray every night for angels to protect me. And then you came and found me and protected me. So maybe that's how God answers prayers. He sends people who look like regular people, but are actually angels. Wisdom from a 6-year-old. Truth from pure innocence. Maybe you're absolutely right, Jae-hyun says softly, looking at Aisha with new eyes. That evening, they eat simple food around the wooden table, sit by the crackling fire, talk about small healing things. Yoon-woo asks endless questions about his mother. Jae-hyun tells stories, some funny, some heartbreaking, all completely true and necessary. She would have genuinely liked you, he tells Aisha at one point. You can't possibly know that. I do know it. She always said the bravest people in the world were the ones who helped others without expecting anything in return. That's exactly who you are. Aisha looks away, uncomfortable with direct praise. I'm not brave, I'm just doing what's right. That's exactly what being brave means. Later, after Yunwoo is finally asleep in the small bedroom, Jaehyun and Aisha sit by the dying fire. What happens now? She asks into the quiet. The prosecutors build their cases using my evidence. I cooperate fully with every investigation. Eventually, I go to trial. And then, prison. 8 years minimum, maybe more, depending on final plea negotiations. That's such a long time. I know. Yunwoo will be 14 when you get out. Almost grown. Almost a man. I know that too. Heavy silence stretches between them. What do you want me to do? She asks quietly, vulnerably. What do you mean exactly? With Yunwoo while you're gone. Do you want me to stay, help raise him, or should I? I'm going to ask you something incredibly selfish, he interrupts. Okay. Will you love him? Not as a duty or favor to me, but really, truly love him? Be the mother he lost? Give him the stable home he deserves? Tears slide down her cheeks silently. I already do love him, more than I thought possible. Then yes, please stay, if you're willing, if it's not too much to ask. It's not too much, she wipes her face. But Jaehyun, you need to understand something important. What? I'm not just staying for him. Her voice shakes. I'm staying for you too. His breath catches audibly. Aisha. I know it's crazy. I know it's impossibly fast. But these past 3 days, watching you fight so hard to be better, to choose love over power, to sacrifice literally everything for your son. She meets his eyes. You're not perfect. You've done terrible things, hurt people, but you're trying with everything you have. And that matters. That means everything. I don't deserve. Stop saying that. She's fierce now. Stop saying you don't deserve good things. Maybe you didn't before, but you're choosing differently now. You're becoming someone completely new. And I want to be here for that transformation. For him, for you, for us. Vulnerability, choice, the hardest and most essential parts of real love. I'm going to prison, Aisha, for years. I can't give you anything. Can't promise you anything normal. I'm not asking for promises or normal. I'm offering you one. I'll be here, waiting when you get out. If you still want me then. If I want you, he laughs, broken and raw. I've wanted you since you stood between me and my son in that diner like a warrior. Since you looked at me like I could be something other than a monster. Then let me be here. Let me be family to both of you. He reaches for her hand slowly, holds it like it's infinitely precious. 8 years is such a long time to wait. I've waited for important things before. I can wait for this, for you. Why? Why would you do that? Because you're worth it. This, she gestures between them. Whatever this is becoming, it's worth it. Outside, snow falls soft and silent. Inside, something fragile and beautiful and unexpected takes root. Hope. Real, honest hope. I love you, Jaehyun says. The words are rusty, unpracticed, terrifying, but completely true. I don't know exactly when it happened, but I do. I love you. I love you too. She smiles through tears. Even though you're terrifying and complicated and come with literally the world's worst baggage. That's completely fair. They sit by the fire, hands clasped tightly, while Yunwoo sleeps peacefully, and the world outside stays frozen and still. For one perfect night, they're just a family. Broken, healing, real. 3 months later, early spring. The trial is brief. Jae-hyun pleads guilty. The list of charges is long. His cooperation earns leniency, 8 years instead of 25. Do-sik gets 15, no parole. When the gavel falls, Jae-hyun looks back. Aisha is there, Yoonwoo beside her. The boy waves. Jae-hyun waves back. This is what freedom looks like. Before transfer, he gets one final visit. 8 years, Yoonwoo says carefully. That's a long time, father. It is, but I'll write you every week, and you can write me back. About what? Everything. School, friends, what makes you happy? Jae-hyun's voice cracks. I want to know everything. They talk until time's up. About the apartment Aisha found. About Sister Mary's visits. About the garden they're planting, normal things, healing things. When the guard says time, Yoonwoo cries. I don't want you to go. I know, but I'll come back. I promise, and I'll be better. You already are, Yoonwoo sobs. Forgiveness from innocence, the purest grace. Jae-hyun stands, looks at Aisha. Thank you. I'm not going anywhere. Promise, promise. He touches his hand to the glass. She mirrors it. I'll wait, she says. I know. He's led away. Aisha holds Eunwoo while he cries. Then they walk into spring sunlight. The world continues, beautiful, full of possibility. 6 months later, routine settles. Aisha works at the church with Sister Mary. Yoonwoo thrives in school. Every week they visit. Every week, Jae-hyun looks different. Thinner, quieter, but more present, more real. They talk about everything. Spelling tests, soccer games, cherry blossoms. Are you okay? Aisha asks. Really? I am. I work in the library, take courses, read constantly. He smiles. For the first time in 20 years, I'm learning things that have nothing to do with crime. Like what? Philosophy, history, poetry about how love endures. Commitment, love proven over time. I'm proud of you. I'm just doing what I should have done years ago. That's why I'm proud. 2 years later, Yoonwoo is 8, growing fast, happy. He tells his father about plays, tournaments, science projects. Jae-hyun listens, celebrates every victory. I got news, he says one visit. Good or bad? Good. Early release possible. Good behavior. 6 years total instead of 8. Aisha's breath catches. 2 years from now. Yes, Yoonwoo will be 10. He tells everyone his father is the bravest man he knows. Jae-hyun's eyes fill. I don't deserve either of you. You're becoming who you need to be. That's all that matters. 4 years later. The call comes on a Tuesday. Han Jae-hyun is being released Friday, 10 a.m. East entrance. Aisha calls Yoonwoo. Baby, your father's coming home. The boy screams with joy. 3 days of beautiful chaos. Cleaning, cooking, preparing. Yoonwoo makes a banner. Welcome home, father. Friday morning, they wait in the parking lot. At 10:03, the door opens. Jae-hyun walks out. Thinner, graying, but his eyes are clear. He sees them. Stops. Yoonwoo runs, crashes into him. Father, you're really here? Jae-hyun holds his son like he's everything good. I'm here, I'm really here. Aisha approaches slowly. When Jae-hyun looks up, tears streaming, she smiles. Welcome home. Thank you for waiting. Always. Commitment fulfilled. Promise kept. That night, they eat dinner together. Yoonwoo talks non-stop. 4 years of stories. Jae-hyun listens. Really listens. Laughs, cries. After Unwoo goes to bed, they sit on the balcony. Seoul glitters below. I don't know how to be normal, he admits. You learn, like everything else. What if I can't? Then we figure it out together. She takes his hand. I didn't wait 4 years for perfect. I waited for real. He kisses her hand. I love you, Aisha Williams. I love you too. Will you marry me? She laughs. You're asking now. I'm asking because I finally have something real to offer. Just me, broken and trying and desperately in love with you. Then yes. Romance, real, earned, tested. They plan under stars. A wedding, a life, a family. 6 months later, winter again. The wedding is small and perfect. Sister Mary officiates. Yoonwoo is ring-bearer, glowing with pride. Mrs. Choi comes crying. A few church friends. Prosecutor Kim, showing respect. No criminals, no empire, no ghosts, just people who matter. Aisha wears simple white. Jaehyun wears a modest suit. Their vows bring tears. I promise to be present, to be honest, to choose you both every day. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. I promise to see you completely, to be your partner, your home, your family. They kiss. The small crowd cheers. Yoonwoo jumps. We're a real family now. We always were, Sister Mary says. This makes it official. The reception fills the hall with laughter. Jaehyun dances with his wife, then his son, then Sister Mary. It's perfect, not fancy, just real. As evening falls, they walk home, husband, wife, and son. Seoul sparkles around them. Are you happy? Aisha asks. More than I imagined possible. Even though you lost everything? I didn't lose everything. I lost what was killing me and found what makes me alive. Truth. Simple and profound. 1 year later, Christmas Eve. Snow falls on Seoul like a benediction. In a small apartment, a family decorates a tree. Jaehyun lifts Yoonwoo, 10 now, to place the star on top. The silver necklace, HJH, polished and repurposed, a symbol of everything they've survived. Aisha watches, hand resting on her swollen belly. 5 months pregnant, a daughter, Jiwoo, after the woman who started this journey. Perfect, Yoonwoo declares. It is, Jaehyun agrees. They step back, 3 soon to be 4, looking at their tree with mismatched ornaments and simple lights. Not fancy, but completely theirs. Father, Yoonwoo says thoughtfully, remember when I asked if angels forgot about people like us? I remember very clearly. I know the answer now. What is it? They don't forget anyone. They just come in unexpected ways. He looks at Aisha with pure love. Sometimes they look like regular people, and sometimes you have to be cold and lost and really scared before you can recognize them. Wisdom from a child, truth from innocence. You're absolutely right, son, Jaehyun says, voice thick with emotion. That night, after Yoonwoo is finally asleep, Jaehyun and Aisha sit together by their tree. 5 years ago, he says quietly, I was standing in a cold penthouse, telling myself Christmas was for fools. That love was dangerous weakness. That power was the only thing that truly mattered. And now? Now I'm in a tiny apartment with second-hand furniture and a pregnant wife and a son who draws us as stick figures in crayon. And I've never been wealthier in my entire life. The final transformation, complete and real. I'm so proud of you, Aisha says softly. For what, exactly? For becoming who you were always meant to be underneath everything else. I couldn't have done any of it without you believing in me. Yes, you could have, but I'm deeply grateful you didn't have to try alone. They sit in the gentle glow of the tree lights, holding hands tightly, while their son sleeps peacefully and their daughter kicks with life, and the world outside stays frozen in perfect stillness. This is what real winning looks like. Not power, not empire, not fear-based control, just love. Real, messy, hard-won, transformative love. And family, chosen, fought for, worth absolutely everything. People ask me sometimes about that Christmas, the coldest one. The night I found a scared little boy in an alley and everything changed forever. They want to know if I was terrified, if I knew what I was walking into, if I'd make the same choice again. And I tell them yes, to absolutely all of it. Yes, I was terrified. Yes, I had no idea what was coming. And yes, I'd do it again in a heartbeat without hesitation. Because that frozen Christmas night taught me something crucial. Miracles aren't about magic or divine intervention appearing from nowhere. They're about choice, about seeing someone drowning in their own darkness and choosing to be their light. Jae-hyun thought power and control would protect his son, but it was releasing that power, surrendering it completely, that finally saved them both. I thought kindness was weakness in a harsh world, but it turned out to be the strongest thing I possessed. We're not a conventional family by any measure, but we're absolutely a real one. And every Christmas Eve, when we light our tree in our small apartment, just me and Jae-hyun and Yoonwoo and soon little Jiwoo, I think about that night 5 years ago. The snow falling like tears, the fear that gripped my chest, the impossible choice, the boy who asked if angels forget about people like us. I wasn't an angel then, I'm still not one now, but maybe I was sent by one. Because sometimes the act of saving someone else is exactly how you end up saving yourself. Christmas Eve, present moment, full circle. Aisha and Yoonwoo decorate, while Jae-hyun watches with quiet contentment. A gentle knock at the door interrupts the peaceful moment. Aisha opens it curiously. A young woman stands there, college age, nervous, exhausted. Behind her, a small child clings desperately to her hand, maybe 4 years old, eyes wide with fear and fragile hope. "I'm so sorry to bother you on Christmas Eve," the woman says, voice shaking. "But Sister Mary from the church gave me your address. She said you help people who have nowhere else to go, people who are running and scared and—" She breaks off, tears threatening. Aisha looks back at Jae-hyun. Their eyes meet. He nods with complete understanding. She steps aside with the warmest smile. "Come in, you're safe here now. Let's get you both warm." The young woman's face crumples with relief. Thank you so much." As they enter, Yoonwoo looks up from decorating and smiles at the little child. "Hi, I'm Yoonwoo. Do you like cookies? We just made some." The cycle continues, love multiplying outward, light spreading into darkness, hope passed forward like a precious flame. And somewhere across Seoul, church bells ring out through the falling snow, clear, joyful, eternal. Thank you for letting me share this story with you tonight. If it touched your heart, if you believe in second chances and the power of love to transform even the coldest souls, please like this video and subscribe for more stories of hope, healing, and hard-won happily ever afters. What did this story make you feel? Share in the comments below. And remember, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let yourself be loved by someone who sees who you really are beneath everything. Until next time, keep believing in miracles, even the ones that look like a poor girl and a criminal boss, learning that family isn't about blood. It's about choosing to stay through everything. Merry Christmas whenever you need it most, and good night.